This customer wants a full audio upgrade, so we will be replacing the factory speakers. We're keeping the head unit, of course. So we have 1, 2, a third speaker over there, and then we have another one over here, so that's 4. And just gonna quickly show you guys. Okay, so yeah, over here I don't have my flashlight, but this over here is a subwoofer. We will be replacing the whole thing. So we are working on designing a custom sub box that's gonna fit on this space over here. Ahead and remove all the factory audio system. We have all the door speakers out over here, second door speaker out over there. Under the seat here we have 1 woofer. On the seat, under the seat over there we have a second woofer, and we have another speaker on the rear panel here, and then the last speaker over here. So basically the OEM system in this vehicle came with the 6-speaker system. 6-speaker system running on over a 4-channel amplifier. So what they did over here was running the 2 front speaker passive basically. So the woofer and this door are running passive, and same thing over there. So on the seat woofer and the door speaker is running passive, and then we have another channel to power that speaker over there, and then the last one for this speaker over here. So we have a 4-channel amplifier running a 6-speaker system. That's what came with the MINI from the factory. So at this point we have everything figured out. We have the OEM system out. We know what we're working with. Now it's time for us to start designing something to come up with a solution that will meet the customer requirement. We're gonna start working on a custom design for the woofer here, and then we'll see what we will come up with as a solution for the gears, for the amplifier, the speakers, and the subwoofer and all that. This is the system that came with the vehicle. So it was a 6-channel speakers, well basically 6-speaker system, but with a 4-channel amplifier. So we had these 2 woofers that were under the seat, and then 2 of the 4 speakers were actually connected passive with the woofers. And then at the rear we had those 2 other speakers. And this guy right here obviously is the amplifier feeding the whole system. So this is the audio system that was in the vehicle. But now moving forward, this is what we're gonna put in there. So this is the gears that we selected for this installation. So over here we have the GS42 Audio Frog high resolution speakers. We have some sound deadening that we will put in the vehicle. We have a couple of Audison harnesses here that we will use for the same installation. This is just one of the speakers out of the box. Over here we have our speaker rings that we are done with the fabrication. They're ready now. We also have some sound treatment material over here just for the control and behind the speakers. Over here we have our power distribution block. That is a Memphis power distribution block. Really good power distribution block. This is the DSP we decided to use on this install. It's the 8-channel DSP 6-channel amplifier, 105 watt RMS on each channel on the amplifier, and then obviously 8-channel on the DSP side of it. So it will be feeding our 6-speaker system separately. So now we are moving from going passive to active. So this one will do it active, and then it will give us 2 extra channels for the subwoofer. Now, speaking about the subwoofer, this is the subwoofer we decided to go with. This is a Memphis Mojo MJP 1022. It is at 750 watt RMS, and the double coil. It's a 2-2, so 2 and 2 would make it 1. So we'll wire it up to 1 ohm, and it's going to be fed off of this amplifier. This is the 65750.1 V2. It is a 750 watt RMS amplifier, 65 series from Memphis. And at 1 ohm, it's going to give us the 750 watt that we need for the subwoofer. So yeah, but pretty much that is the setup that we have for this Mini. Just go over it pretty quick again for you guys to take a look. Folks, doing some progress with our JCW here. We are now working in the trunk, trying to come up with a subwoofer box dimension. And yeah, at first, to be honest, on this system, at first we thought we were going to just put a single shallow 10 just like this in the trunk here. But then having some more discussion with the customer, he feels like this is not going to be enough because he wants to be able to play some deep bass. So this one here, for example, is 350 IMS, but we think, based off of the conversation we had with him, we think it's not going to do it. So now we're trying to be able to fit a full-size 10-inch subwoofer in this trunk. And in order for us to achieve that, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see here, this depth here is not going to be enough if you want to put it full-size 10-inch subwoofer. For a shallow like this is good, but not for a full size. So what we now decided to do is we remove this bottom portion here that was sitting here. It's probably somewhere around here. So we took it out, and we want to be able to use this extra space. If we use this extra space, we are going to have enough depth at this level to fit our 10-inch, like a full-size 10-inch subwoofer. And the one we are planning on using on this part will be a Memphis Mojo, and that is going to put out 750 watt IMS. So that is probably going to do the trick for this customer, because like I said, he wants to be able to play some deep bass, and that's going to do it for him. So that's what we're working on right now, and we'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so here we cut the bottom piece of our trunk. Now we're gonna shovel the edge here so to round it over, and then we're gonna start building from here up where it reaches to the level of the other side of the trunk. So that's what we're doing now. What's it going on? Now that we have the bottom section of our box here, it's time to build all the way to the top. So we will be using some of our leftover pieces of wood that we have here on our CNC machine. So we're going to use it to cut the rings that will build this bottom section all the way to the top, and it will catch the other section of the box right there. So that's what we will be doing now. We finish the piece that is going to sit in the dense spot in the trunk. In 4 layers, we will be filling up that spot. So this is going to be our bottom layer, and it closes the bottom as well. That's our first layer coming on top of it, so it will be sitting just like so. And then we have a third layer coming like this. And you notice that we trim a little bit of the material over here, same thing at this point. This is our last layer on top, and it sits just like so. Okay, so these are the 4 layers, and like I was saying, you trim some of the material on top here. We did that because based off of the dimension of the subwoofer we're using here, the subwoofer is actually a 5.75 inch, 5.75. That's the mounting depth. So up to get that depth, we had to remove this material on the surface on the last layer, and then we rounded it over here to avoid the noise in the sub box. Same thing over here. So the magnet behind the subwoofer is going to come and sit inside here, and then from there we will build the other portion. The top section basically is going to go across in the trunk like this, and then we'll build. At this point, we are done building the box pretty much, but we're still gonna have to trim the edges. And then over here we have a bracing here that will let air pass through, to have enough cubic feet as recommended per the specification of we have our lifter here, and then we left this extra space so the subwoofer can move in and out without touching the cover, because there will be a cover on top of all of this. Now we will be using this space here for our amp rack, so all the amplifier, DSP, power distribution, and all of that will be over here. The subwoofer will be there. This piece will be removable, so you mount your subwoofer, and then there will be insert here, so you can attach this, and the subwoofer is sealed there. We did not want to use the surround of the subwoofer. That's why we decided to do this, because to us it has a better look. It looks better without the surrounding. We'll show you what I'm talking about when we get there. so at this point all our speaker rings are cut. So what's coming up next now, we're gonna have to drill some holes to it so we can attach the speakers. So this is pretty much what it's gonna be looking like at the end of the day. We have 2 of them ready here. Just want to let you guys see what it looks like after the inserts are in. So just in case you wonder what kind of inserts we're using, we are using on this one the number M4, and then these are the inserts that we are using here. 2 of them are ready, and we're moving on to the next ones. After that, we'll be probably be doing the paint, because we tried this on the vehicle. Now we're thinking maybe we're gonna have to paint this in black just to make it look better in the vehicle. And by the way, our insert does not go through all the way. If you can, as you can see here, it stops somewhere in the middle there. So we figure out we can do this, and it looks better and it's stronger to us. So okay folks, so at this point our speaker rings have been painted black, so they're ready now. So all we need to do is just mount the speakers to them, and they will be ready to go in the vehicle. So how does it mount here? This is approximately how it's gonna mount. Now that's approximately how it's gonna mount to the speaker ring. At this point we came up with this layout for our amp rack. And just to let you guys know, when building our amp racks here, we have basically 3 factors that we usually try to avoid. Obviously you can't really avoid it, but then you just try to minimize it. So the 3 factors are, first, the wire crossing each other. We're trying to avoid as much as we can to have wires crossing each other. The second one would be the wire bending. We're trying to get like the smallest bend possible. And then the third factor would be the wire path, basically. The path of the wire, we usually try to get it as short as possible, so it doesn't get too cloudy on the amp rack itself. So based off of those main factors, this is what we came up with as a layout. And we will start drilling holes for the zip tie, depending on what wire path we decided to go forward. Basically, we already know what it's going to be. So the power is going to come from here to the amplifier here, and then another power will come from here to the DSP here. Our main power is going to come over here along with the turn on signal. And this is the 8th channel of the DSP, so it's going to come out of here. Now, to be honest, we're gonna have to make that decision later if we want to go down like this to get to the amplifier, or if you want to go up like this to get to the amp. And the speaker, the subwoofer wire is gonna come off of here, and then we're gonna just drill right here. Since our woofer box is gonna be down below here, it's just gonna go straight like this, so no hanging over on the amp rack. So yeah, so far that's what we got. That's the layout we decided to go for. We'll start drilling holes for the zip ties. almost done with our JCW here. The wiring side of it is complete. We have the DSP connected to our computer over there. Almost ready for the tuning session. Now, all we need to do at this point is just do our crossovers and do some time alignments. We have a Romeo in the vehicle there ready to take some measurements. So once we're done with our crossovers and time alignment, we're going to be ready for the frequency equalization.